Hands down, mother chuckers, my favorite refillable pod system to date, and it's called the VLADDIN RE. Now, I never dealt with the VLADDIN pre-fill pod system, but this one right here, oh my gosh, it is unfreaking believable. Now, just because I say it's unbelievable doesn't mean there's no cons. There's always cons to products. There's always a give and a take. But what is unbelievable about this is the automatic switch. This has the best, the most responsive, easiest automatic switch I've ever dealt with, period. The mouth to lungs I get off this is just a flipping treat, man. It's just so easy. And there's so many refillable and pre-filled pod systems out there that it's just not as easy to do mouth to lungs. A lot of them out there aren't. For me, at least. All this is subjective. But have you ever found yourself using a refillable or pre-filled pod and you're pressing your mouth against the freaking thing to get the connection, or you're tightening your lips up to get a better mouth to lung hit? With this one, you don't have to deal with that. You get a solid connection every time. The mouth to lung draw is absolutely mint. And you can do a lung hit too. But that automatic switch, holy shit. This VLADDIN RE to me is a step up compared to most other refillable pod systems, if not all of them. Right now, at least. Another thing that's great about this, and I'm going to go over in the close-ups, but it's got a ceramic head in here. So the flavor you're going to get is super clean. And there is no freaking break-in. You fill it up, wait a minute, maybe 2 minutes max, you pop it in there, and you go. And the vapor production you get, I'm going to show you right now. The juice that I got in here is a juice called Lava Flow from the Naked 100 Nic Salt line, and guess what? You can get on over at vapetrick.com. You can get all the Naked 100 Nic Salt lines over at vapetrick.com. Check it out. But yeah, Lava Flow, ooh, it's good stuff. Strawberry, pineapple, and coconut. First, I'm going to do a mouth to lung for you. There's no stop and start. There's no primer puffs. You don't have to do any primer puffs with this. Some other refillable pod systems out there, you don't have to do primer puffs, but it's still more work to me, at least. I've got a weak suction. A lot of times I have to tighten my lips up like it's as tight as a butthole just to get it going. With this one, you don't have to do that. And look at the vapor production. It hits like a truck full of dildos. And back to the flavor. It is so flippin' clean because that's ceramic in here. So if you're one of those vapors out there and you're looking for a refillable pod system that's got a super sensitive automatic switch where you just wanted to get your mouth to lungs, you don't care about lung hits, you want something that's sensitive where you can go to it and you can pull it and it's just like a cigarette. This is as close to a cigarette as you can get. It's close to a cigarette as possible electronically. The guys that made this bad boy have got it figured out. But like I always say, there's always cons to it. There's always a give and a take. Nothing is ever perfect. And I'm about to go over those cons right now in the close-ups. Okie spankin' dokey. So here's the packaging this VLADDIN refillable pod system kit comes in. Of course, inside that packaging, you're going to receive your VLADDIN stick. Comes with a USB cable to charge that stick. You get a prepackaged refillable pod. And last but certainly not least, comes with a user manual. Alrighty tighty, now onto this VLADDIN stick. First of all, she's got a built-in 350 milliamp hour battery. At the bottom, you got the USB port for charging, and it takes about a little over an hour to charge this sucker up when she's fully dead, at least in my experiences. You got this little light indicator up here, so when you pull on it, it's going to light up white, and when she's fully charged, she lights up white. But I haven't seen any other color gauges for this like green, red, and yellow, just white. At the top, it's got this little magnetic connection, and that's where your pod's going to be going into. So that way it makes a connection magnetically, and then you pull on this sucker just like all these other refillable pod systems out there. So it's got an automatic switch. And I got to say right off the bat, the biggest pro to this is the automatic switch. Super sensitive. The most sensitive automatic switch I've used to date for a refillable pod system, by far. And it is the most gratifying to use, especially for me. Oh, that's going to be subjective, and I'm always going to point that out. Another pro is the way this thing is shaped, the way it feels, the finish on the device. It's not a fingerprint matic, but back to the way this thing feels. I can hold it like this. I can hold it like this. It's comfortable. It's light. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. It's become my favorite refillable pod system to date. Now, this may be a con to some of you guys. The built-in 350 milliamp hour battery, it hasn't lasted me all day. If you're going to buy this, I recommend buying 2 of them. If you buy 2 of these, it's definitely going to last you all day. And I know you're like, Rip, why would we want to do that? Because this damn thing is so good. So damn good for the mouth to lungs. It's even pretty good for the lung hits too. But yeah, the built-in 350 milliamp hour battery, it hadn't lasted me all day, but it's not bad. So it's definitely a con I got to point out. Another potential con I got to point out for this is the battery gauge. Mine doesn't have one. I have to go off the way this thing feels. Once it starts dying off and I start to get less vapor and a less satisfying vape, that's when I charge it up. But for some of you guys out there that wants like a battery gauge or colors, you're not going to get that with this. So here's the refillable pod for the VLADDIN RE. It holds 1.5 mils of juice, got a ceramic coil in here, that's what they market. The flavor you get off this is wow, super clean. Some of the best I've gotten off a refillable pod system to date. And at the base of it, you got your magnetic connections. And here's the mouthpiece. There's the hole. That's where the vapor comes up, comes out into your mouth, into your lungs. That's how you get your nicotine. And to fill this bad boy up, all you got to do is pull the mouthpiece off. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, it is a tight fit. If you got sweaty fingers, you ain't getting it off. Oh, you see how hard that was? Gotta be mentioned as a con. But yeah, once you get this mouthpiece off, you got this little rubber plug. You just pull this sucker off and you fill her up. Do not fill her up down the middle hole. I repeat, do not fill this up down the middle hole. That's the shaft section. You want to fill it up through one of these outer holes. And that's another thing, because the holes are so small, when you go to fill it up and it gets to the top, it pulls some of that excess juice back up into the bottle. That's the biggest con for this device, guys, right there. Gotta pull away real quick. Is that a big deal? No, because you can still fill it up all the way. But I'm just being nitpicky. Still, I think it's the biggest con. All these other refillable pod systems don't have to deal with that. Like I said, guys, there's always a give and a take. Because this thing performs so exceptional, it doesn't mean there's not cons. And of course, once you're done filling it up, you just plug it up with a stopper. And you want to make sure the mouthpiece goes on the right way. If you pop it on the wrong way, it's going to look like that. So pull that sucker off, turn it over. There we go. Another nitpicky con I got to point out for this. It did not come with an extra stopper. If you lose that stopper, that's it. That's all you got. And it only comes with one pod. That's another con. These refillable pod systems need to come out with more pods. It's good you can buy these pods separately, but they should include more than one pod. Of course, once you fill this pod up and you're ready to go, just pop it into that mod. It's magnetic, like I mentioned before, and you're ready to go. Also, another thing with this, the magnetic connections are phenomenal, man. It makes a solid connection every time. It comes out pretty much with ease. It pops on there. It stays in a place. It's not going anywhere. And like I said, solid connection. Hits every time with ease. And I cannot emphasize enough how great the automatic switch is. Oh yeah, I didn't show you that you can do a lung hit off this. You can. It is tight, it is restrictive, but you can do it. Yeah, you can do it. The vapor production. You get more vapor production off this than other refillable pod systems out there. I would say 98, 99% more. More than 98, 99%. That's what I mean. My favorite. Rip Trippers approved all the way. Now what would make this thing better is more juice capacity, bigger battery life, with the same automatic switch, same draw, same everything. I gotta take one more hit of this shit. I just want to keep taking hit after hit after hit off this. That's how good it is. I cannot gush over this enough. Am I the only one that loves this that much? I haven't seen anybody talk about it. What the fart? Is it because it's so damn new? Maybe that's what it is. Price point. $30 what I'm seeing online. I'll post links down in the description of the sites that I know of that are credible, that will be or are carrying this thing. Now on to the big question, the big answer today. Hey Rip, which vapor out there is going to benefit from this bad boy the most? Anybody. I'm serious, man. If you love nicotine salts and you're looking for a refillable pod system, get it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, liked it, found it entertaining and helpful. If you did like it, well then hit that like button. Let me know that you care and share it for all your friends to see. And if you want to see more of me, subscribe for more. This is Rip Trippers, and remember, smoking is dead, vaping is the future, and the future is now.